Hello, it's a Sanford Edible Garden Trail. Welcome. Today we're with Jacki. Jacki's from Blue Dog Farm. We're in Mt Mee. We're about an hour out of Brisbane, almost an hour exactly out of Brisbane. So Mt Mee is a little bit higher than Sanford, a little bit colder, a little bit wetter. Yeah. And Jacki runs a small-scale farm up here at Blue Dog Farm, and she's got this amazing setup. And Jacki, I've heard about you from so many people, and I've been wanting to come and chat with you for so long, and so we're really excited to be here today. This is a beautiful spot, and I'm just wondering if you can show us around this space here. I know this is a 10 by 20 meter space, and if you can show me around or show us around and just give us an overview of what you're doing here, and we'll go from there. We'll just flow with it, okay?
Thanks, Suzanne. Welcome to Blue Dog Farm. This is the Blue Dog. She's got her back to us. And we have, our family lives here. We have 30 acres of really nice red dirt with no frosts and not a lot of lantana. And we're very close to the house. We have this 10 by 20 meter garden that we've turned into an urban farm, and it's just growing. It didn't start out as a commercial enterprise. It started out as a family garden, and I just did a little bit of research, and it's growing into this where we have 2 casual people who come and work here for 2 days a week, and our turnover last year was about $45,000 out of sales from the market garden. So it is feeding people in our local community and also as far away as Brisbane City, and that's really nice because I meet a lot of really nice people.
So when did you start?
2014.
Okay, so that's when you changed it from being a family garden to then into
I heard a
commercial
podcast with Curtis Stone, the urban farmer in Canada, and I did his course, and then the ideas that I got from him were such things as all of my beds are only 750 mils wide so that I can straddle them and I can work them more easily. It's easier to harvest and much easier to be able to reach into the middle of a bed. The crop selection has come from Curtis Stone.
Okay.
So I'm growing lettuce, mizuna, rocket, baby red Russian kale, beet greens, ruby streaks mustard, and all of those are sown directly into the soil using a jang seeder, and then harvested, made into salad, and they're finished, all cut out of the ground in about 6 weeks. So it's very fast turnover.
Okay, so everything we're seeing here, it's all about salad. Is that right?
All about
salad.
Yes.
So it's 6 weeks, it's a quick turnover, and it's salad.
Yep.
And it's like a mixed salad, sort of like a packaged mixed salad.
250
Wonderful.
gram portions,
Okay.
which I think that should be your daily dose for the day, but most people will eat it through a week.
Okay. And before we look at the garden beds,
Yeah.
so how do you sell it? I noticed that there was something out the front here.
So we've got a farm gate stall. We sell to a gourmet grocer in Brisbane in West End. We sell to restaurants and cafes. We sell through an online farmers market called Reco, and we have another element to the salad that I haven't told you about, and that is the microgreens. Quite a few of the microgreens will go to restaurants in the city as a separate item, but the salad goes to either the farm gate stall, cafes, and homes.
And did you have a plan? Like when you started, after you did your course with Curtis, how long did it take you to get to this
I still
stage?
don't have a plan.
Okay.
I still don't, because things change.
Okay.
No, it's not like pivoting with COVID or pivoting with a change in demand. It's just about this dance of supply and demand. The whole natural food scene, or the local food scene, is changing so fast. It's growing in a way that I didn't think that it would be quite so mainstream, but you've got so many families that are eating 100% organic every day of the week now. It's amazing.
Okay. And so I guess I'm wondering, is something like this, when we go through and have a look, is this something that somebody could get ideas and basically model it somewhere else? Is that the idea, or?
That's my dream come true.
Okay.
I would just love young ex-uni students who decide that whatever it is that they've spent 4 years and $60,000 studying isn't for them, that they come and try small-scale farming as an option.
Wow. Okay. So that's what. So we will meet Brady later. He's here working here 2 days a week.
Yep.
And I had a chat with Brady earlier, and so he's sort of an example potentially of somebody who could come and learn. So is that the idea? Is it sort of an apprenticeship? It's not really an apprenticeship, but is the idea when he comes and they work here with you? Like, how long do people stay with you?
Usually for 12 months, because I burn them out.
You work them so hard cutting salad. He didn't hear that. He was going,
look, one really nice aspect of this scene, and so we have Millen Farm, Lot 81, Loop Growers, Debbie at Wagoon, all these, Aaron at Paufalau, all these small scale growers are very collaborative, and we are wanting more young people who are keen to get into it to come and ask us if we can help them get into it.
Okay, good. So if you're watching and you heard that and you want to get involved, that's an incredible thing to hear.
Yeah,
right.
It's cool.
It's an industry wanting to grow. That's one of the reasons we're here with the Sanford Edible Garden Trail. We're wanting to support our local small scale farmers in their businesses, but also those of us who are consumers. How do we access that produce? This is, and we are going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about do another little video on this new thing that's been set up quite recently with part of COVID called Reco. Not Reco, Reco. So we will do a shorter video on that, so look out for that. But let's talk about what's actually growing here. So Vanessa's filming today. Thank you, Vanessa. Do you want to just do a bit of a pan?
Probably the first thing that you should note that's growing here is what's under the soil. I only use non-synthetic fertilizers, and we're looking at brewing our own biofertilizers now, because we want this to be low input, and we want it to be looking after itself. So we're feeding the microbes, and the microbes are looking after the plants.
And so what are we looking at here? What's this?
This is rocket.
Okay.
This is rocket. So that when the babies are sown, we do put shade cloth over the top of them for the first 4 or 5 days until they're germinated. And then I've just taken the shade cloth off this morning. This is rocket as well.
Okay.
And then here we have kale. You can see that Brady has just harvested half a bed of this, and we only need half a bed this week. On Friday he'll harvest the rest of it, and then this will be turned in, dug in, and then it will have a tarp put on it. Do we have an example of a tarp here?
Is that
There's one
of the beds
behind
down
you,
there?
Vanessa. So in here, under here, we have the plants breaking down. It'll be like that. In winter, they'll be like this for 2 weeks. And then Brady uses his tilther to turn all of that in. And we sow the beds very close. The seed is sown very close together. So with most of these crops, they're sown with 9 rows, very close together.
Okay. And how are you sewing it? Is this what you said? You had a special tool?
We do have a special tool.
We might look at all the tools later.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do
All
have
right.
a special tool.
That's good to know. Okay.
When I started, I used to sew by hand. I used to draw a crevice in the dirt with a rake and then sprinkle the seeds in. Oh dear.
That's what I still do, but I'm not. I don't have a market garden, so I suppose that's
This is
that's different.
this lettuce is the only crop that we don't direct seed. And look, I do use hybrid seed. I tried using the heritage seed, but I couldn't get enough yield. So I'm not as well behaved or as good as I possibly could be, but I want to be able to grow food. So I am using hybrids, not all of them. Some of them are hybrids, and these lettuce are a Dutch hybrid that are very heavy, and I can cut them 4 or 5 times before they are exhausted.
Okay, and when you cut them, are you harvesting just outer leaves?
No, we grab them by the neck and cut the leaves off. And then they'll grow back from that. These ones here have already been cut a few times, and you can see that's where they've been cut. And they're coming back. So that's been cut, and this is coming back, and we might grab that by the neck on Friday and cut it off.
And so you'll get 3 times. And why do you have this on?
Oh, well, that's for weed control. These are in the ground for quite a while.
Okay.
And they're not being, if they were being sown directly into the beds, we wouldn't be able to have the plastic down.
Okay.
But we put the plastic down and then transplant into the holes, and then weeds don't come.
Okay. Whereas some of your other crops, so you're buying these in seedlings, and that's why you
No, I buy them as seed.
Oh, as seed.
Put them into a seeding tray.
Okay.
Keep them nice and warm and look after them until they're ready to go out into the world.
Okay, and then you're putting that. But these are, because you're doing it 3 times, they're staying here longer. Whereas these other rows,
they're quick in and quick out.
They're quick in, and quick out. Okay. Yeah. And each row is one particular thing.
Yeah.
By the look of
each
it.
bed.
Each bed.
Yes. One crop for each bed. Actually, do you know, it's amazing how many people say, "Do you think that I could just mix all the seeds together and I'd have the salad mix in the bed?" But you can't do that because they do grow very differently.
Okay, so they will grow at different times.
And they've got different personalities.
Okay.
Because I like putting all your siblings in one bed. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Okay.
This is my favourite. This is beet greens.
Thank you.
And it is so buttery. You know, this is why
it's the best part of the job. Oh. Do you want some, Vanessa?
Yeah, sure. If you just use a high nitrogen synthetic fertilizer, you end up with a lot of really good growth, but you don't get the depth of flavour that you get with looking after your ground properly. Because these plants are growing with a balanced diet, so they've got plenty of calcium and boron, phosphorus, and it's a different taste.
That's beautiful. It is. So are these, you're growing them for the leaf?
Yep.
Are they beets? Like, is there?
Yeah, no, but they don't grow beetroot because we're not amending so that we're not putting in a lot of potassium.
Okay.
So when you want leaves, you don't want potassium. Potassium helps roots grow.
So your fruit's extra nitrogen then for the green, or?
It is, yeah.
Right. So you're basically influencing how you're wanting it to grow by the nutrients that you're putting in the soil beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the same plant that someone would have planted for a beetroot.
It is. But they're also only in the ground these ones are in the ground for maybe 10 weeks.
Okay. And then chopped. Again, just the once.
Actually, we do chop these twice. Yeah. But
no, we've got a tractor in the background. I know. It's real. You can have a look. This is it's farming land. We had someone with a chainsaw earlier. It's real. This is it. So you've got an incredible selection here. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
it is. Do you know, I really believe that. How's this for some philosophy? Evolutionarily, we would taste a leaf. Later on, our subconscious would say, well, that was good for me, or I've got a bit of a tummy ache, that's not so good. And I think that the reason that people say, oh, this salad is really good, is what we're used to eating from Woolworths. I don't know if I can say that. From those really big shops.
Yeah. The big chains, yeah.
What we're eating there is
benefits.
it's just been pumped with nitrogen, and there's not a lot in it as far as nutrition and goodness. And I think that this is really good, and I think that our bodies know it, and I also think our kids know it. Because kids eat this even though it's bitter.
This is delicious.
It is.
So what is this called?
It's a red mustard.
Yeah, okay, so it's a mustard.
Yeah. It reminds you of baked potatoes because it's a bit like spring onions.
I'm happy to keep eating it. It's I've got a mustard thing growing as fast, but it's a different leaf. It's a bigger leaf. Right,
Yes.
so-
Yeah, that's right. But they're cousins. That's the thing with hybrids. How about this one? This is Lebanese cress. And this is a perennial. So I have never seen this sold commercially, and it is just the most wonderful flavour. Apparently it's high in potassium. It's like celery and carrots.
I don't know how to describe that. Yeah, it's really
It's a bit like
interesting.
carrots. A little bit like parsley as well.
Okay, it's a perennial. I like
Well,
perennials.
it's
Very attractive little plant.
It is. It's gorgeous. It gets bigger than this in summer.
Do you pull your weeds out?
Yeah. Only purple top. A weed is just a plant that's out of place.
So, will this make it into your salad mix? Is it your salad mix the same? It could be
It changes
the same.
every week.
Yeah, it couldn't be the same. I mean, that's lovely too.
Changes every
There's
week
nothing
because I'm not a really
standard.
good manager.
So people are getting a little bit of everything in there.
Whatever's ready. So in winter, you'll get a lot more kale because that's kale season.
Yeah,
And that's what you want.
yeah, absolutely. It works with the seasons.
Hmm.
I'm not sure that the ones you buy in a supermarket are. I think they're kind of standard.
I think they're kind of standard.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they're standard.
Yeah, so straight away that says that it's not working with the seasons. And
Do you think Brady could earn his money and show us how the tilth
yes.
works?
Hi, Brady. Thanks for having a chat to us too.
That's all right.
So, what is this?
This is Tilfer, just one of those market garden tools that's pretty useful for preparing the next bed for seeding. So I'm just gonna tilt it up a bit, just make it a bit lighter and ready for the seeds.
I might
Okay.
just get a shot of the front of it before you start, if that's okay.
Right now it's just gonna work through the soil at the top of the soil, so not getting too deep, just as deep as we need for these greens.
Brilliant.
So that soil's ready for the next process, which is flame weeding, which is just going to kill any seeds. Might be weeds that are just going to compete with the crop that I'll be putting in. Some of this crop residue from last harvest is still here, and that's why we try and tarp it. As you can see here, for 2 weeks optimally. And just to give some food for the microbes and the worms. So
Okay, so can I just summarise that process so I've got it right? So you've harvested the bed,
yep,
okay, and you're just left with the roots, and then you're covering it with the tarp for a couple of weeks. And then what we saw before was when you've just taken the tarp off, and so you can still see that there's a few plants and roots, and then that's when you're just gently tilling it.
that's right.
Okay.
So it's because the seasons change with the heat under the tarp. Sometimes you're adjusting with how much crop residue you're leaving under it. That's also a benefit of flaming it. You're kind of breaking that down a little bit more for when you're sowing now.
Okay.
So I'll start this one.
Yeah, great. I've always wanted to see how these work. I've never seen a big
it's a bit heavy when it's full,
Okay.
but might be a bit loud.
We had to cut the film for a moment because of some noise there. So we saw you go all the way down on one side, turn around and come back. So you're basically covering the whole bed with that flame.
Yeah, just getting that surface rid of any seeds or as best we can. So the seed that I'll sow now is got the best chance of coming up with less competition from the weeds.
Yeah, okay. Does it do anything to the microbes by flaming it?
It's only heating up the top half centimetre.
Okay, so it really is just those seeds that may be on the surface that are coming up as weed that you're getting.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's I guess it's minimal disturbance, just trying to keep it the top layer and
Yes.
not trying to get deep and bring up things that we don't need
Yeah,
to.
okay, sure.
So it's all the actions just sorting out the top and letting everything else look after itself.
Okay, so would we call this minimal tilling? I'm looking over there because Jackie's behind
It
the
is, it's
camera.
often, but it's not very deep.
Yes, okay, right.
Yeah.
So what's this? What's the next?
So this is just a jang seeder, and
Cedar?
it's what we use to sow all the crops except the beets, which is gets sown by a very similar seeder that just has a bit bigger exit point for the larger beet seeds. So yeah, it's Japanese design, pretty popular in market gardening I've seen.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just do a few rows here and try and we'll usually do 9 for most of the beds, so we have to keep it pretty compact and pay attention to keeping it straight.
Keeping it straight,
Otherwise,
okay.
it looks like Brady's been drink driving the cedar.
Yeah, stone.
And is it distributing it at a certain amount
Yeah.
per distance
It's
or
incredible.
per speed?
You can
or
change
what's-
all of that. It has
Okay.
sprockets in there that allows you to be able to increase or decrease the spices.
And you've just worked out over time what works best.
That's exactly what we need. Yeah, that was the most valuable information I got from my urban farming course.
Is this,
Yeah.
do this. Okay, well let's see how it works.
So it'll probably pick up a bit of crop residues because it's probably more than what's optimal, but it's still doing the job. So you might
So-
be able to see the seed coming from outside there.
Nice. So what's happening? It's
It's depositing the seed as they go along, and they're very tiny seeds. I think this is rocket. So yeah, usually you won't see them when you're just running it. You just know that it's slowly depositing them as you go along, and then this back wheel will cover up. Oh, this part will cover up some soil on top of the seeds, so
okay.
they've just been sown.
Okay, so it's flat. This bit's flattening it out, and then the seed goes down, and then there's a little bit of soil going over the top of it.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful!
So yeah, it's pretty handy.
What a
little
nice
thing.
system. And it's quiet. I think I was expecting you to start something up after that flame, the noise of the flame thing. I'm
You can
trying.
actually run with it.
So
It's
Wow.
incredible how easy this works. Okay, girls,
I'm-
come
I'm-
back this way,
I'm-
this way, over here.
I'm so worried about stepping on your beautiful salad leaves there. Thank you, Brady. So I have a question, Jackie, just before we go up there. Did you start off with all of this equipment? Is this essential? If somebody wants to give it a go, this small scale farming, is this essential?
You can start out with more, with cheaper options. I
Okay.
think that would be a good idea. Or you can borrow them. You can share tools with other farmers.
Okay.
That is, honestly can't remember how expensive it is, but it's a big chunk of change.
Okay.
But you can start out with alternatives.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's good to know. Thank you, Brady.
Thanks.
All right.
That's actually the micro.
Okay, we've made our way over from the farm area over to this special little microgreen area. So coming this way, and Jackie's over here again. Jacki, what's this?
These are my babies.
Oh,
More
wow,
babies.
More babies.
We've got pea shoots, radish, and sunflower. And all of these are less than 10 days old.
Wow, they're fast.
They are. They're quick. They're very nutritious, especially these. These are brassica microgreens,
Wonderful.
and they're very good for you. They're really tasty. You can have one.
Thank you. So these all go into your salad mix?
They do. They do. They make up maybe 30% of the salad mix.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so full of flavour.
Yeah, don't get that in Colesworths, do you?
No. What are these lights? Are they a special growing
No, they're
light?
not. No,
Okay.
they're not. They're special in that I only need one power point for all of these lights, but no, they're just standard fluorescents. You don't need fancy, expensive grow lights to grow microgreens. I do grow these in a cocoa fibre. It's a bit dodgy to be growing them in compost, food safety wise. It's also not very environmentally friendly to be importing peat from Canada, so I'm importing cocoa fibre from Vanuatu. After these have been harvested, we put the whole mat of root and the cocoa fibre in our orchard for soil stabilising and for building up organic matter there.
Yeah, I saw that over there. It looked beautiful. I love the
it's
orchard.
amazing.
We don't have time to look at it this
Yeah.
time. Another tip. Do you add any kind of fertiliser to the
No,
cocoa
they don't
peat?
need it.
They don't need it?
No, this is
So the
all of
cocoa
the energy
peat's
that they
enough?
get. No, they get nothing from the cocoa fibre.
No,
it all
that's
comes
why.
from their own seeds.
From the seed, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Because that's why I thought the cocoa fibre doesn't have anything as such in it.
No? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's quite incredible.
I always thought that they needed, as they got bigger, some kind of fertiliser or some kind of feed.
They would. They would.
If they got bigger than
especially
this.
the radish, if I left
Okay.
these for, say, 14 days, they would fall over. They wouldn't grow extra leaves. They wouldn't be very healthy. These get very tall with a lot of tendrils, and then they turn a pale yellow. I've done all these experiments.
Yeah.
And the sunflower shoots, same thing. They don't grow extra leaves. They need the fertilizer or the
Okay.
nutrition from the soil to grow the extra leaves.
And so when are you picking them? What side?
These
Like
will be
this?
picked the day after tomorrow.
Okay.
All of these will be another 5 to 7 days, but these will be the day after tomorrow, and so that's Tuesday, and
Okay.
they will be at a restaurant in Brisbane on Wednesday.
Oh, that's amazing. So fresh.
In fact, sometimes I cut them and take them straight to the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Okay. I wish I could see what... Oh, you've got
I've got a
something to show me?
surprise for you.
Okay. I think I'm getting what I wanted.
This,
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to ask for.
This is the salad. So it's in these bags, and all of the ingredients, all the crops that we saw today, and the microgreens, as well as flowers, it's all mixed together.
Mixed
It's all in
together.
here.
And that's
And it's
it.
good for your gizzards.
Yeah.
Gizzards.
Kids. Thank you. Wonderful. So, oh, that's a great way to finish. So,
Bon appetit.
we're going to keep chatting to Jacki. Actually, we're going to do a few shorter videos, so look out for those. But first, can I just say thank you very much for having us here.
It was nice to have you.
It's a beautiful space. It's wonderful to come to see what you're doing here. Thank you very much for following us on the Sanford Edible Garden Trail. Now, if you're enjoying it, and I hope you are, please let other people know about it so that we can all continue to get inspired to grow a little bit more food in our own backyards. And
Share it.
and share it. And the more people who know about it, we all keep growing together, which is really our motto. We're all going to keep trying to grow more and more things ourselves. So thank you very much for following us. From the whole Sanford Edible Garden team, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you again in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.